It all started not in New York or Paris, but in San Francisco, 1977. A man named Roy Raymond walked into a department store to buy lingerie for his wife, and left humiliated. He noticed how awkward it felt, the fluorescent lights, the judgmental stares, the lack of elegance. So he had a revolutionary idea. What if there was a store where men could comfortably buy lingerie, elegant, classy, and romantic? And thus, Victoria's Secret was born. The name Victoria was inspired by the Victorian era, a symbol of sophistication and mystery, while Secret represented the hidden allure beneath. With $80,000 borrowed from family and friends, Raymond opened the first store in Palo Alto, California. It was designed like an English boudoir, red velvet, lace, soft lighting, and opera music. Within 5 years, he had 5 stores and a 40-page catalog generating $500,000 annually, but success, as always, came with a twist. By 1982, Roy Raymond felt stuck. He had built a niche brand, but it wasn't scaling. That's when Leslie Wexner, the billionaire founder of the Limited, saw potential. Wexner didn't see Victoria's Secret as a men's store. He saw it as a women's fantasy brand. He bought it for $1 million, and completely transformed it. Out went the dark, masculine energy. In came bright, feminine aesthetics. Instead of selling lingerie for men to gift, it became lingerie for women to feel powerful in. The catalog evolved into a marketing masterpiece, filled with glamorous models, poetic language, and seductive fantasy. By the late 1980s, Victoria's Secret was making $120 million in annual sales. But tragically, Roy Raymond didn't share the victory. After selling his company, his later ventures failed, and in 1993, he died by suicide at just 46. It remains one of fashion's most haunting stories, the man who created beauty but couldn't find peace within it. If the 1980s were about sales, the 1990s were about seduction. Wexner introduced the Victoria's Secret fashion show, a revolutionary concept where supermodels strutted in million-dollar wings, silk, and crystals. The show wasn't just fashion. It was theater, power, and fantasy rolled into one. And with it came the angels, the iconic faces who defined beauty for a generation. Tyra Banks, Heidi Klum, Gisele Bündchen, Adriana Lima, Alessandra Ambrosio. Each angel represented a different form of perfection. The annual shows became cultural phenomena, blending celebrity performances, high fashion, and a global audience of millions. By 2005, Victoria's Secret had over 1,000 stores, and revenue surpassed $5 billion. Its models became household names, and being a Victoria's Secret angel was considered the pinnacle of modeling success. It was not just a brand, it was a dream. But as fame grew, so did criticism. The same imagery that once symbolized empowerment began to feel outdated. The brand's narrow beauty standards, tall, slim, flawless, clashed with a new generation calling for diversity and inclusivity. While the world embraced body positivity, Victoria's Secret seemed frozen in time. Behind the scenes, disturbing stories began surfacing: toxic management, unfair treatment, and allegations of sexism. And then came Jeffrey Epstein's scandal, linking the brand's parent company, L Brands, to the convicted sex offender. Although Wexner denied involvement, the damage to the brand's image was devastating. In 2019, the Victoria's Secret fashion show was officially cancelled. It was the end of an era, and for many, a necessary wake-up call. After decades of selling fantasy, Victoria's Secret faced reality. The world had changed. Women no longer wanted to be an angel, they wanted to be themselves. In 2021, the brand launched the VS Collective, a new ambassador program featuring powerful, diverse women like Priyanka Chopra, Megan Rapinoe, and Paloma Elsesser. The message was clear: Victoria's Secret is no longer about what men find sexy, it's about what women feel confident in. They redesigned their products, updated their stores, and began using real bodies in advertising. Sales slowly began to recover. The company went public under the name Victoria's Secret & Company, valued at over $4 billion. And in 2023, the fashion show returned, reimagined as the Victoria's Secret World Tour, a documentary-style celebration of global creativity, culture, and diversity. Secrets you might not know about the brand. Sparkles 1. The original logo was hand-drawn by Roy Raymond, inspired by old London boutique signs. Sparkles 2. The first catalog photos were shot in Raymond's own apartment to save money. Sparkles 3. The show's most iconic piece, the fantasy bra, was made of diamonds, emeralds, and sapphires worth up to $15 million. Sparkles 4. Some angels insure their bodies for millions of dollars. Gisele is said to have a $10 million leg insurance policy. Sparkles 5. Adriana Lima walked the runway for 19 years, making her the longest-serving angel. Sparkles 6. Victoria's Secret sells one product every second worldwide. Today, Victoria's Secret is more than lingerie. It's a symbol of evolution, both cultural and personal. It represents the journey from male fantasy to female empowerment, from flawless imagery to real confidence. The secret was never just the lace or silk, it was the idea that beauty was a story told for women, not about them, and now, the brand is learning to tell that story differently. When Victoria's Secret began making millions, the numbers seemed almost unreal. By the early 1990s, Les Wexner had turned the brand into America's #1 lingerie company. Each glossy catalog, each runway show, and each store window was designed not just to sell underwear, but to sell a dream. By 1999, Victoria's Secret made over $1 billion in annual revenue. Their catalog alone reached 400 million homes every year. Women from all over the world wanted to own a piece of that pink dream, a perfume, a robe, a bra named Angels. But behind the success, cracks began to form. Models spoke about the pressure to stay thin, the impossible beauty standards, and the mental toll of being compared to an angel. What looked like sparkle and silk on stage was, for many, a machine built on perfection, and perfection always comes with a price. Between 2000 and 2010, Victoria's Secret became more than a lingerie brand, it became a global lifestyle empire. It launched fragrances, skincare, pajamas, swimwear, and even sportswear. The Bombshell perfume line alone brought in over $500 million annually. At its peak, Victoria's Secret operated over 1,600 stores in 70 countries, employing tens of thousands of people. The brand was valued at nearly $30 billion, making it one of the most powerful fashion labels in the world. The annual fashion show cost millions to produce but earned far more in publicity. In 2013, the show was broadcast to 192 countries, with more than 12 million live viewers. Every appearance by models like Candice Swanepoel, Miranda Kerr, and Bahati Prinsloo increased sales overnight. They were not just models, they were walking billion-dollar billboards. Then, the illusion began to fade. By 2016, the brand's market share started to drop dramatically. Competitors like Aerie, Savage X Fenty, and Third Love offered something Victoria's Secret had long ignored: realism. Instead of fantasy, they showed diversity. Instead of angels, they showed authenticity, and women loved it. Victoria's Secret, on the other hand, seemed stuck in a glossy, outdated image. Its ads looked the same, its message didn't evolve, and social media began calling it toxic perfection. In 2018, things worsened. An executive made controversial comments about not including plus-size or transgender models in the fashion show. The backlash was instant and fierce. That same year, sales plummeted by 7%, and the show's ratings dropped to the lowest in history. By 2019, the Victoria's Secret fashion show was officially cancelled, ending 2 decades of televised fantasy. The once invincible empire was suddenly on the edge of collapse. As if falling sales weren't enough, the brand was hit by scandal. Jeffrey Epstein's name surfaced, revealing disturbing ties to Les Wexner, the CEO of Victoria's Secret's parent company. Although Wexner claimed he was deceived by Epstein, the damage was done. The brand's glamorous image became entangled with dark headlines. Former employees spoke out about harassment, toxic leadership, and unrealistic beauty expectations. Supermodels who once walked proudly for the brand began distancing themselves. Inside headquarters, panic spread, stores started closing. In 2020, the brand's valuation fell from $30 billion to just $1.1 billion. Wexner stepped down as CEO, marking the end of an era. Victoria's Secret, the brand that once defined beauty, was now fighting for its survival. But just like every great story, this one also had a chance for redemption. In 2021, Victoria's Secret & Company became an independent, publicly traded company, a complete rebranding effort. Its new market value, around $4 billion. The company introduced a new board of directors made up mostly of women, a first in its history. They redesigned the stores, shifted marketing, and began speaking to women directly, not through fantasy, but through truth. They invested millions into research and digital transformation. E-commerce became the core of their business, generating over $6 billion in annual online revenue. They also launched new product lines like VS Sport, VS Bear, and VS Collective, which aim to represent real women with real stories. The new ambassadors, Hailey Bieber, Paloma Elsesser, and Eileen Gu, symbolized the modern woman, bold, diverse, and confident, and slowly, sales began to rise again. Victoria's Secret today remains one of the most profitable lingerie companies on the planet. Annual revenue, 2024 approximate $6.20 billion. Market value, around $4.30 billion. Number of stores worldwide, nearly 1,400 online sales share, over 40% of total revenue. The brand's top-selling products still include the Bombshell fragrance line, the Dream Angels lingerie collection, the Love Cloud comfort bras. The average Victoria's Secret model used to earn between $500,000 to $2 million annually, while angels like Gisele Bündchen made over $25 million per year at their peak. Gisele Bündchen's Red Hot Fantasy, $2015 million. Heidi Klum's Heavenly Star, 2001, $12.5 million. Adriana Lima's Dream Angels, 2010, $2 million. These single runway pieces cost more than entire small businesses, but they defined a culture of luxury and extravagance that few could replicate. Today, Victoria's Secret stands at a crossroads, not the seductive brand of the past, but a company trying to redefine beauty for the future. It has embraced sustainability, inclusivity, and mental health awareness as part of its core message. The new campaigns feature women of all shapes, colors, and backgrounds. From Roy Raymond's small idea to a global empire worth billions of dollars, the story of Victoria's Secret is one of reinvention and redemption. It reminds us that even the grandest dreams come with darkness, and that even the most crumbling empires can rise again. The secret was never in the silk or the lace, it was always in the courage to begin again. This is Deep Rhythm, where every luxury hides a deeper story.
To be continued.